You're okay, don't worry about me.
Let's give all these exhibitors a round of applause. This is a good set of stairs for the Washington County Country Fair, and I really enjoyed working through these stairs. I hope nobody along the side is saying mine is much like black cattle, because that's not what I intended at all, but that's just the way that it happens. I got the privilege to judge Warrenton about a month ago, and I think we had every color under the sun in the ring for Grand Champion. That's just the way that it works out. If I was to go ahead and let's start talking a little bit about these steers. I'll start down here with the lightweight steer. That steer that came out of that lightweight class as a good finished steer won that class because of his condition, because of his thickness and his depth of body. Then we get this steer here weighing around 1145. That shows us a lot of length, a lot of show. This is a really nice show steer. He's got a length of body, good thickness throughout his rump, and a good long hip in him as well. Then we get to the young man's 1,200-pound steer. Real good deep-sided steer. I remember commenting in class that he had a really nice structure, and he's a good steer in his own right. Then we get to the young man's steer, and in this group of steers, I think he's just a little pointer to look at, but a good finished steer, good balanced steer, structurally correct, and good depth of body. And we get to the young man's steer here in the red shirt. Again, he kind of looks a lot similar to our Class 2 or Class 8 winner up there that has some length of body, has some eye appeal as well, and some depth to go along with it. Then we get into the young lady steer that it sure is a thick-ended steer, has a good top in this steer, good depth of body, stands good on his feet and legs, but however, we'd like to make him walk out just a little bit better if I remember that steer in class. Then we get to the young ladies' Brondby Cross steer, a good finished steer as well with a lot of thickness and a lot of depth. Maybe a steer we could extend out in his front end to make him, to make him a little bit better in his own right, but really a good steer. Then we get into the young ladies' steer, I remember out of Class 2. That maybe wasn't quite the thickest steer in that class, but definitely had the thickest steer over the top and showed a good size of ribeye for an Angus steer. Then we get to this big guy here that's showing a lot of depth of body and a lot of thickness. A steer that, for me, probably a little bit in the big category today as far as his weight for steers that I prefer. But again, just as soon as we pick Grand, we're going to have the second place steer in that class come out for the reserve Grand Champion and give them a right to show for the second place honors. Following that, we'll have showmanship. I know some people may thin out a little bit after Grand and reserve, but I do want to remind you that I always tell my students that it's not what you got, it's what you do with what you got when you come back in for showmanship. And you guys have did a really good job showing it. I'd like to see several of you come back in those three categories. But before we pick the Grand Champion steer, I'd sure like to give them another round of applause because they got a really good quality show steer. Comment after I pick the Grand Champion. As long as he makes it to Saturday night, he's going to be fine. And he's showing me the finish and the muscle and the things that I'm looking for. Again, if you can get along and say that he walks all right, then that's good enough for me. So let's give this young lady a nice round of applause again. That's a good skill. cross appearing steer. Again, don't lose much quality, do we, when we bring in this second place steer? I remember those guys were really close in class. I just preferred the finish of this Grand Champion steer a little bit farther to the roan steer. For reserve Grand Champion, I think there's a steer out here. I'm a big fan of trying to be consistent when we pick Grand and reserve, and we like to feed steers that look similar and things like that. And for your reserve Grand Champion steer, I'm going to go with this Braunby Cross steer for your reserve Grand Champion.